Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Thank you all very much for the positive feedback on the video I dropped. I guess technically it was very early this morning, late last night for some of you, about Wizards of the Coast and Dungeons and Dragons. And I just want to say it's been awesome to see you guys commenting on the video. And if you liked that video last night, and I'll link to it in the discussion if you want, please give it a thumbs up. Give this one a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe to our channel. Believe it or not, I don't just rant about current events. I also talk about classic Dungeons and Dragons. That is my passion. But I try and bring you guys the news because what Wizards of the Coast is doing is affecting all creators and all fans, and we all have to stick together on this and just ride herd on them and make sure they don't ruin the game that we love, because it is a large part of the hobby. It is a large part of the hobby. So this kind of came across my desk after I had dropped that video. I was very surprised. So I wanted to share it with you guys. I think it's a lot of information that we are already aware of, but it rolled in on Saturday and then was updated again on Saturday afternoon. So there may be some bits and pieces in here that you're not aware of. So let me just go ahead and bring that up. And this comes from Gizmodo now. So if that's not your jam, I completely get it. But right now, there's a lot of diverse sources giving us the clear picture, or at least as clear as we're going to get from what's going on inside WotC's glass bubble there in Seattle. So without further ado, let's take a look at this. This is Canceled D&D Beyond subscriptions forced Hasbro's hand, and this is by Linda Codega. Linda, I hope I got your name right. Swift consumer action prompted Dungeons and Dragons publisher Wizards of the Coast to scrap licensing updates. The players aren't done yet. Now, I think, just in my opinion, at this juncture, players refers to everybody at the table, because if that leak from last night is true, Wizards is doubling down in a lot of ways. So let's take a look at this. And, an arrow splitting D&D Beyond. Nice graphic there, guys. Dungeons & Dragons publisher Wizards of the Coast finally broke its silence regarding the game's open game license on Friday. And, of course, we already know that, attempting to calm tensions in the D&D community. Well, they have once again botched that. And answers questions that were raised after Gizmodo broke the news about the contents of a draft of the document last week. And of course, that's what we're all spinning off of. And we know about the update to the open gaming license. And she notes here, it might be too little too late. Despite reassurances from the Hasbro subsidiary, Wizards of the Coast, WotC, may have already suffered the consequences of their week of silence. Multiple sources from inside WotC tell Gizmodo that the situation inside the castle is dire, and Hasbro's concern is less about public image and more about the IP hoard the dragon sits on. Now, that I'm going to come back to that paragraph, what that paragraph implies in just a second. But note, she says multiple sources. This is not just that one leak that we talked about, guys. So and it says the bottom line seems to be, after fan-led campaign to cancel D&D Beyond subscriptions went viral, it sent a message to WotC and Hasbro hires up. And let's be clear about something. This is not after. This is ongoing. Okay? We have... I know there's a lot of you guys out there, and because of the pandemic, you started up virtual tabletop games. You prefer 5th edition, whether you're playing classic modules with it, or whatever you're doing. And yeah, some of the classic modules have been re-released for 5th edition. You go to Tales of the Yawning Portal. There's, what's in there? Tomb of Horrors, Against the Giants. I think Lost Caverns of Sojconth. I don't have a copy. You guys would have to tell me. But there's, you know, regardless of how you're getting there, you might be stuck on D&D Beyond Island, or D&D Begone as we're calling it. Guys, there's other virtual tabletop solutions out there. So just remember that and think about that $30 a month that they want from you. Licensees are pushing back, though. Despite any hopes that this all might blow over, and it hasn't, well-known publishers who have previously used the OGL, some almost exclusively, such as Kobold Press and MCDM, have already put out statements saying they will be either moving away from old versions of the OGL or explicitly offering up their own gaming license for their core games. And this is from Monty Cook Games. Now, the negative impact of implementing the new OGL might be a feature and not a bug for Wizards of the Coast. A savvy third-party publisher might look at where 5e is in its life cycle, and if they were planning 5e products, reconsider their investment. And smaller indie presses have encouraged creators to make the jump into writing third-party content for small games for years by offering easy-to-understand and lenient system licenses, game frameworks, such as the way that Codex published a guide to creating adventures for Trophy Dark. I don't know what those are. You guys will have to tell me down in the comments, but... and system reference document to help ease new creators into the system. Rowan Rook and Descartes, the publishers of the acclaimed RPG Heart and Spire, again, no idea. For example, have established the RRD community license years ago and offers the Resistance Toolbox to make third-party creation accessible. Well, all this is news to me because, hey, classic Dungeons & Dragons, right? One of WotC's biggest competitors, the independent publisher Paizo, owner of the Pathfinder and Starfinder RPG, is currently spearheading a campaign to create an open RPG creative license, ORC, very clever, that will be stewarded by a nonprofit foundation. I'm gonna wait. I'm very much in wait and see mode on that. Other publishers, including Kobold, Chaosium, and Legendary, have committed to the effort. Like I said, we'll see. We'll see. And of course, they talk about the OGL 2.0 FAQ, the OGL 1.1. Let's see. Ryan Dancy here, of course, they're quoting him saying, "I do not believe that the OGL 1.0A can be deauthorized." I don't think Ryan's a lawyer. I could be wrong. If somebody wants to correct me in the comments below, that's fine. I don't think Ryan's a lawyer, but I have heard from legal sources. I can't name names yet. All right. There's a lot that's still up in the air. I've heard from some law talking types that they probably can't. Now, this is new. The term sheets. According to an anonymous source who was in the room, in late 2022, Wizards of the Coast gave a presentation to a group of about 20 third-party creators that outlined the new OGL 1.1. These creators were also offered deals that would supersede the publicly available OGL 1.1. Gizmodo has received a copy of that document called a term sheet that would be used to outline specific contracts within the OGL. Sweetheart deals, guys, is what they're talking about. Sweetheart deals. So, you and 3 friends are outputting your own dungeon modules and you're selling them. You're screwed, okay? You're screwed. But WotC's going to offer a sweetheart deal to these guys, okay? Rules for thee, not for me, is basically what's going on here. So the WotC is this. Remember, this is late 2022. Late 2022 could be anywhere from like September to December 31st. Okay, they knew what they were doing. They were burning this down from the get-go. getting it right. In its update on the Open Gaming License, WotC promised that the new OGL was still in development and not ready for final release because we need to make sure we get it right. And I have raised my voice and my ire on that. And this is David Markuski, and I apologize, David, if I got that wrong. He's from Unseelie Studios, and he says, even if Wizards of the Coast were entirely to entirely walk the leaked OGL 1.1 back, it leaves a sour taste in my mouth that I don't want to work with the OGL in the future. And I don't blame him, okay? I'm not working with the OGL under any circumstances. I don't want anybody's sword of Damocles hanging over my head. And of course, it talks, I've mentioned this, the hashtag D&D Begone campaign encouraging fans to cancel their D&D Beyond subscription continue to gain traction on Twitter and other social media sites. Do that. Cancel your D&D Beyond, please. And here, this is interesting. In order to delete a D&D Beyond account entirely, users are funneled into a support system that asks them to submit tickets to be handled by customer service. Sources from inside Wizards of the Coast confirm that earlier this week there were 5 digits worth of complaining tickets in the system. Both moderation and internal management of the issues have been a mess, they said, partially due to the fact that WotC has recently downsized the D&D Beyond support team. Well, surprise, surprise. How did that work out for you? You literally knocked the pins out of a system that you're touting to be the next big thing within Wizards of the Coast, and then when people turn around and they start to use it for customer support, it implodes because you took the people who could have supported it, whether it was people unsubscribing or new subscriptions, away. So well done, Wizards of the Coast. Well done. So I want to go back and I want to talk about that paragraph, okay, when it said multiple people. Guys, I'm going to pull up Ms. Kodega's tweets here. I just want to look at this. And again, I will link to these in the description, in the video description below. I'm sorry, I know this is going a little bit long, but stay with me for just a little bit longer, please. But here, she's commenting on the article. This is back on the 14th of January. Long story short, nobody in WotC planned for the OGL 1.1 to be widely seen before IO9 reported on it. Oopsie. We confirmed that the rumored sweetheart deals WotC presented to third-party publishers in late December and how the fan-led D&D Begone campaign sent the biggest message. There was an OGL 2.0 that was supposed to release Thursday alongside a FAQ. The 2.0 was to go into effect Friday. We saw the FAQ ahead of time. It was a half step back. When the FAQ began to spread, WotC buttoned up in order to avoid more press leaks and leaks to press and content creators. The apology update was very likely written Thursday afternoon after the 12 PST release of the FAQ 2.0 was canceled. She says she didn't receive a copy. The PR spin from WotC Brass and their update is transparent. Of course it is. And they are on their back foot. They did not win, and this was not the plan. Do not let yourself charitably imagine for a single moment that this is anything other than a dozen suits whispering, "We're not owned," to themselves in fancy schmancy boardrooms. And down here, this is the key one. I want to thank all of the WotC staff who risked their jobs, livelihoods, and who knows what else to get me this information. So guys, this is not one leaker, okay? WotC's internal staff is in revolt, and they're getting this information out as quickly as they can. And I want to encourage you, if you're a Wizards of the Coast staffer and you can safely get this information out, whether it's to me, whether it's to IO9, whether you just create a quick anonymous Twitter account and hashtag it to hell and gone, go on a forum, go on Facebook, let us know what's going inside there, because it's clear that the rank and file are just as disgusted as we gamers are, or at least enough of them to leak this stuff out. Guys, that's all I've got for you now. Please consider supporting the channel. Subscribe, click the bell icon for notifications. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. This situation is not going away for Wizards of the Coast, and we're not going to let it go away, because this impacts every damn one of us, and we cannot let them tear away at the foundations of our hobby, because if they do it, everybody else is eventually going to do it. So goes Dungeons and Dragons, so goes the hobby, and we don't want it to go this way. So you guys have an absolutely excellent day. I'm going to listen to the WotC presser, if they in fact do one on their Twitch channel today. I'm a little skeptical that they will. I think they're still in silent running mode. I think they've gone full radio silence. But if they do, I will comment on it tonight on our live stream before we play a live game of First Edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Stay positive, everybody. I love you all, and I'll see you soon. Peace.